Hello there, welcome to the New Super Review here on TAP TV. My name is William Zabule and I'm really happy to have you join me here on the program. Today is the 8th of March 2023 and it happens to be the International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to every single woman out there. You are very important to us men, and every time I keep wondering what life would have been without women. It would have been extremely boring. But you guys add color, you guys add a lot of spice to our lives, and we really appreciate you and we celebrate every woman out there. If you're watching this, you are very special, and thank you for being the woman that you are. We recognize you and we celebrate you. Well done to all of you. And I want to welcome you, Victor Sioku.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome.
Thank you, sir. And congratulations to the women out there today. Their day. And I hope all men around the world will celebrate them.
Yes,
okay?
so please, if you're close to any lady right now and you're watching this, please just give a hand clap to them. They deserve all of that. They kind of like stabilize our lives. If you meet a good one, your life will be upward.
Just imagine a life without a woman.
It will be boring, no? Yeah. Remember that song by Pat Rankin, the party no fit start if girls no day, and he's so right when he made that assertion. Just imagine a house filled with boys. It's boring.
But Mr. Bule, I also wouldn't want us to also, as men, see women as domestic objects.
No. These days they've gone ahead to prove all of that as just mere, notions that men have, that they are only useful in the house or as maybe helps in the house. For me, I don't see any woman that way, because women are multi-talented. Unlike men, we could be focused on one thing and be about that thing, but women are multi-purpose, if I would say that way. They can be anything. Depending on how you intend to direct their energy to. They can be anything. They can birth anything. And so for me, women are way more than just wives and sisters, and as it were. They are heavy assets. I have a daughter. My first child is a girl, and I could already see what she will be, in the nearest future. I could also already see that she's a star. For me, I used to call her my billionaire. I used to call her like the light of my family, and that's how I see them. Yeah.
Okay, but if you also check out in the workspace, you find out that there's so much inequality happening out there.
Yeah.
The women are not given their right position.
True.
Okay, I don't even want us to start talking about politics, but
even in politics, yes, we should add that.
So what has happened with our numbers right now in Nigeria? About 100 senatorial seats has been, will I say, delivered. Okay, out of the 100 seats, only 3 women.
Yeah.
Only 3 out of the 100 seats, and I bet you, even one of them. Oh, let me not even mention from the Labour Party. There are even some issues coming out about her. Okay, so men should just allow women. In fact, beforehand, most political parties had already said, okay, in their government that they will have up to 33% of the positions given to women, but I bet you that will not happen. That will not happen. We will not see the light of
we also heard that of the APC, this Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government has also promised that, okay, the women will be properly represented in the government. But just like you said, we have our fingers crossed.
It might just be around 10%. You might just give them 10%, and the men will just take all those numbers. Then lastly, before I take so much of your time, although I have a lot to say in that matter, but okay, we should also note that this year's team, okay, is talking about digital innovation. Okay, women are supposed to be up there in the world of tech.
Yeah.
Yes, in Nigeria, one might say, there are a lot of them, but by the real numbers, we don't have a lot of them. When you start talking about other clients, okay, mind you, when it comes to tech, women are supposed to even have more numbers there, because tech does not really involve physical work, okay, where come on, you know what I'm talking about now. So we should have more women there. But now, even in the world at large, when it comes to tech, when it comes to innovation, we just have about 22% of women there, especially in artificial intelligence, where we were supposed to even have more women. I can remember back then in school, in my secondary school days, women dusted the guys in the class.
Of course, even in my class, the highest graduating student was a girl. And that's always been like that. Okay. They always find a way of letting us know that they are more than just everything that men will always see them as. But then on the other hand, we've also seen that, yes, gender equality has always been an issue worldwide, not just only in Nigeria, but we know that there are some countries like the US and some other countries have tried to balance these things in politics and in international organizations and all of that, even in employment, they try to balance it. And so that's what we hope that as it goes by, major or bigger countries, even in Nigeria, will continue to recognize women and in the roles that they are capable of playing in politics, in society, and at large.
Then lastly, the big issue here, why we are having low numbers in women in work and doing their biddings here in Nigeria, or not just in Nigeria, even in the world. When you check the study, you find out that most countries that are suffering these low numbers, they are suffering it because of religion and tradition. Religion, a highly religious country, you find out that women are not even active there. Yeah. Look at Iran. Look at what is happening in Iran.
Yes, they're trying to relegate them to the background.
The last time I got a news from Iran is that the young girls there were being poisoned.
Yes, by some poisonous gas, and they're killing them.
Okay, so
for speaking out,
and for going to school. Yeah. So it really does not make sense. And in Nigeria, there's a huge tradition that women are supposed to be domestic staff, especially for the older men. I'm sorry, let's keep it there. Thank you.
Well, I understand what you're saying. Let's not forget that at some point, even our outgoing president, Muhammadu Buhari, said his wife is fit for the other room and not to, interfere in some kind of public commentaries and all of those. So if we will go past that level of how we see our women, then we'll be able to harness so much potential that is inherent these wonderful women out there. So we celebrate every woman. Happy International Women's Day to you all. So if you're just joining us, this is the Newspaper Review, and on this program we bring you the newspaper headlines across newspapers around Nigeria. And let's just go right into our papers for the day and see what the headlines look like. And we'll begin with Nigerian Tribune. And on Nigerian Tribune here we see tough times as tomato prices record 90% increase in 1 year. Prices of gari, beans, others also soar. You see that on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. We also see 51 APC, 27 PDP, 7 LP senators. Others receive certificate of return. INEC removes Dogowa's name from reps elect list. Well, if you need to know why they removed Dogowa's name from the list, please go to page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune to find out details of what happened to Dogowa. All right, to the main headline on the Nigerian Tribune here, it says, court ruled today on INEC's request to reconfigure BVAS. LP PDP insists reconfiguration will tamper with evidence. Tinubu approaches court for leave to obtain election materials. Fagbemi, 11 other sons to lead APC legal team. 38 sons to lead Obi's legal battle. Page 3 and 4 is where you'll see details of those stories. Uncertainty as banks go different ways on old Naira notes. Customers still flood banks. Alleged money laundering. Court threatens to strike out Keyamo's suit against Atiku. You find that story on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. All right, Victor, let me come to you. Court has ruled, or court will rule today on INEC's request to reconfigure the BVAS. This matter has caused a lot of concern for the political parties that have dragged INEC to court. All right, so within the last 1 week or so, they were taken to court, but now they also granted permission, or the court also granted these parties permission to inspect these BVAS. But what we see is that INEC is trying to stop them from doing so because their excuse is that they need to reconfigure these machines for the elections on Saturday. How do you react to this back and forth between INEC and these political parties?
Okay, I think that is causing so much will I say, grayness in within the INEC. Okay.
Yes.
If you go out there, like the poll TAF TV conducted, if you go out there, you find out that Nigerians are not happy with INEC
at all.
Okay, so there is a poll going out. Why was INEC compromised? Okay, and you just see it in the faces and in the hearts of Nigerians that they are not happy with what happened. So for INEC to come out to say they want to reconfigure the BVAS machine, it spells a lot. It spells a lot about their credibility and their integrity. Now, they did not also, if they were so fair, I would have expected them to come out to tell us what they want to reconfigure. Okay? Yes, because I think we have the right to know what they want to reconfigure. And at the same time, we should not also forget for the fact that the INEC chairman was just too confident about the BVAS.
Yeah.
He was just talking it so loud.
Even when some people had their worries and their concerns and also their suspicions. Remember, you know, one time where it was alleged or they accused INEC of planning to transmit the results manually as against what they've told Nigerians that they will do with the BVAS. And of course, INEC came back and refuted that report and said it's fake news. But today we're back there. I mean, this is happening and it's not going down with Nigerians.
So some Nigerians and some political parties are not trusting them because they are feeling that they might just, while trying to reconfigure, they might delete old data. Okay, and that will hamper their chances of getting, will I say, a successful hearing from the court. Okay, now, the questions now are, if they are being given the right to reconfigure, how long will it take them to reconfigure? Some persons are saying that some IT specialists are saying that it might take 5 days for them to reconfigure the BVAS machine. And if they get victory today, which might happen, if they get victory today, will it now make them to postpone the election that is coming on Saturday? So for me, do I have hope that if they reconfigure that things will get better? I just don't know. I'm just scared about INEC. Reason why am I saying this? Because I expected the boss, the INEC chairman, to come out and explain to Nigerians the issues with the BVAS and stop hiding around that the elections went good. The elections did not go on well. It did not go on well. And look at what the Chatham House also said that, yeah, remember he went to the Chatham House. For the fact that the Chatham House has come out also to say that, see, the guidelines that you issued for this election, you did not meet it, as in telling INEC that the guidelines that they put out there, that they did not make up to the guidelines. So what does that mean? It means that the election was not carried out by the rules. Yeah. Okay, you will not come out one day and say, okay, the rule of engagement, let's say in a football match, and just after the game you are changing rules. It does not make sense for me. It doesn't.
Very true. And that's one thing that they need to respond to. And one thing that one of the issues you raised, which should be a concern to a lot of Nigerians, is if the political parties happen to get a ruling in their favor that they should go ahead and inspect these beavers, what then happens to the election on Saturday? Because we're just 3 days or so through the elections, and that is really a close time frame. So the time that INEC would have used in answering the call for inspections, they used it to go to courts. And you know, these are some of the things that is raising more suspicions in the minds of a lot of Nigerians. You claim that everything went well and that the challenges that you and your staff members, ad hoc staff or whatever it is, faced were usual or normal challenges that happens in elections. Okay, you said that to Nigerians. Nigerians want to believe that the elections were fair and credible. Why don't you make them believe? You're creating excuses back and forth to further deepen the suspicions of Nigerians. And then what do you hope to get out of it? Once those machines are reconfigured without inspections from these political parties, I just hope it doesn't really, spill out of hands, because the reason why a lot of Nigerians are calm and following the process is because, according to INEC, if you're not satisfied with what we have given you, go to court. Now they are in court allow the process in court too to run smoothly, it is now a big challenge. Why is it a challenge?
And you now want to reconfigure or tamper. For me, it's tampering with evidence.
Exactly. So for me, I thought that INEC would do everything within its power to ensure that these political parties inspect these machines, just to douse the doubts in the hearts of lots of Nigerians that they, played foul games and here and there. But now, here we are. They are still trying to amplify everything, saying that, oh, don't worry, all of those things are not necessary. They have spent enough time trying to defend themselves as against saying or proving that they were right in the first place. All right, let's leave that story as we move on to our next paper for today, and that will be Daily Trust. Daily Trust for today, the 8th of March, 2023. We see as headline on Daily Trust here, presidential poll, Tinubu, Atiku, Obi assemble legal teams. We also see here over 200 cyber attacks blocked during February 25th elections. Galaxy Blackbone speaking. Who is Galaxy Blackbone, and how did they get all these figures about 200 cyber attacks blocked during 25th elections? All right, that's the story you need to find out. It's on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper. The main headline here, or the headliner says here, we didn't direct banks to disburse old notes, CBN. More banks pay old currency. Business outlets reject notes. Direct Apex Bank to obey Supreme Court order, Buhari urged. We also see here, governors in last-minute push woo voters with incentives. Very interesting headline there. But let's leave that story. Let's go to CBN, because this has been a lot of concern for Nigerians in the last 1 week or so, since after the Supreme Court gave the ruling for the old currency and the new currencies to be in use concurrently till the end of this year. But unfortunately, we haven't gotten any statement from the presidency and the CBN as against what they did after the first ruling came. The first ruling saying they should, hold on with the declaration of the notes as being extinct. But here we are, there is a new judgment, and both the CBN and the federal government have been very mum about this whole declaration, and a lot of Nigerians are asking, what should we do with the old notes? There's no money anywhere. There's still money scarcity. So what should we do? Should we go to the banks? I have this note. I go to the market. People don't accept it. What is going on?
Okay, I think what the presidency and the CBN are doing right now, they don't want to come out to tell people to embrace the Supreme Court order. They don't have any other choice as it stands right now, okay? But I think they are just buying time. They are buying time for the election to happen on Saturday.
Okay.
And then they might just release the news.
Okay. So you feel after the elections they might come out to give a statement?
Election, yes, because we should also remember that these
billions of naira of the old notes are still in possession of some of these politicians. Exactly. They still have it in their houses. Exactly. They refuse to take it back. Exactly. So all of those will suddenly be in effect or in use once the government come out to say, okay, yes, we are obeying. So they're just playing games or trying to play safe.
Of course, they're trying to play safe, but we should not also forget the impact. It has not been fair.
Yeah.
It has not been fair, or it has not been fair, both by Nigerians and our officials out there. I was telling Siri the other day, how can somebody be going out to withdraw 1,000 naira and they will charge you 300 naira?
Yeah, that's absurd.
Of your money.
That's absurd.
How many businesses will you go out there to do and you make 30% profit? But these POS persons, they are using it to capitalize on Nigerians, and they are just ripping Nigerians, their fellow Nigerians off. Yeah. And at the same time, they will be blaming the government of stealing.
It's really sad.
Really, really sad. So I just hope as the day goes by, for me, it's almost gone. I believe that by Monday, the Naira issue should have really subsided. Yes.
Well, we are hoping so that it's put under control. Like you rightly said, I've always thought so that the only reason why the CBN or the federal government wanted to fast track this money policy, the change of the Naira notes and all of that, is so that they can curb vote buying, which to a very good extent they were able to you know, deal with, because in this election, vote buying was very, very minimal. If it ever happened, it was very, very minimal in very few areas. So yeah, they succeeded, and they want to also achieve the same feat in the new in the governorship election coming up in a few days' time. So I don't expect them to come out to say anything at this time. So they are just playing in between until after the election. Then if after the election they don't come out to make any statement, then we should all be worried, because that will mean that they are disobeying the Supreme Court order, which is not a good precedent to set for Nigerians. So we are hoping that, yeah, in no time the federal government comes out to tell us what to do with our old notes, as you know, we are supposed to spend this money till the end of this year. That's on the 31st of December. All right, we're still live on the newspaper review, and we're going to take a short break. Once we come back, we'll take our last paper for the day. So don't go anywhere. You sit back and relax. We'll be right back.
Hey there. Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
All right, you're welcome back from that break. We're still here on the newspaper review, and let's take our last paper for the day, and that will be this day newspaper for today, the 8th of March 2023. On this day, we see here, polls, we are not in alliance with any political party. Labour Party declares. Rivers chapter defies order, endorses PDP. National Working Committee dissolves state executive. That's the Rivers State Executives of the Labour Party, that is. Other headlines here, we see Chatham House, Nigeria's presidential election not conducted in line with INEC's guidelines, says electoral body learned no lesson. Fitch downgrades Nigeria's short-term social stability on Tinubu's weak mandate. Those are very interesting headlines there. Make sure you pick up a copy of this day, and of course go to page 50. That's where you find story there. Also, the front headliner here says appeal court rules today on INEC's request to vary order permitting PDP LP to inspect poll materials. Tinubu seeks order to inspect election materials. PDP raises the alarm over alleged plan to erase, destroy evidence of rigging. Opposition parties insist reconfiguration of beavers will tamper with evidence. All right, that's all the headline we'll be taking on this day newspaper. So, Rivers State is on the news, and this time is the Labour Party. It was very shocking to see that press conference where, you know, the sacked Labour Party chairman of Rivers State, D.A. Pepple, announced that they have formed an alliance with the governorship candidate of the PDP, Siminalayi Fubara. It was a very, very shocking one, but shortly after we got another press conference from some other members saying it's just a misguided press conference, and then of course not longer than 2 hours or so, Julius Abure, the national chairman, sacked the entire executive. How do you react to that confusing or big confusion going on in the Labour Party here in Rivers State?
It came like a big shock.
Yeah.
It came like a big shock. But yeah, that's politics for you at the end of the day. Nigerian politics can be so shocking.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know what is in the hearts of the people. Okay. So what happened? The Rivers State LP chairman, that's D.A. Pepple, came out to say that the governorship aspirant of the state has not been doing the needful. That there are indications that she is not working. She does not want the party to work for her. Okay. So what then happened? That he is clinching, he is embracing the candidate of the PDP. That's Similaye Fubara.
Yeah.
And it also, for the viewers, it also happened that they are from the same area.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the
Rivers
chairman,
State.
the outgone chairman of the Labour Party,
Yes.
and the governorship candidate of the PDP are from the same place. That's Opobo. Yeah, Opobo.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but he also made a point that has not been out there for people to know. He also made a point that that is just for the gubernatorial candidate,
Yeah,
but for
they
the State
should
House of
vote.
Assembly, that they will vote for LPs. But for him to make that statement, you know what that means now? You are not national. Such negotiations and agreements
Don't happen at that level.
If it must happen, it should come from the national. Okay, and even in the state, there are some persons out there, will I say, complaining. Yeah, I'll use the word complaining. I can't find any appropriate, better word to use. Complaining that he carried out all these acts by himself and a little group. Okay, so from the people on the scene, you will see the woman leader of Labour Party Rivers State. You will see his deputy, that's Issa Boye, that's Harry, and you will also see the youth leader. They were all just there. So meaning that, for me, I think they had already on their own had that meeting.
That's him and his executives.
Yes, before making that pronouncement. And just as expected from the national, they just went on to dissolve that
executive, yeah.
So, but for the candidacy of Beatrice Utubo, who is the LP candidate, she is still strong. From all indications, she is still strong and she is ready for Saturday. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, of course. Also listening to some other Labour Party, supporters here, they are still keen on going ahead to voting the governorship candidate of the Labour Party, which is Beatrice Utubo. That's the recognized Labour Party candidate for the governorship office here in Rivers State. Also, we know that that's also created a lot of confusion in the minds of some supporters.
Sure.
But we don't know how that will play out for them on Saturday, because in Rivers State, I keep saying that the elections for that seat can go anywhere. We know that Siminalaye Fubara of the PDP has a very strong backing from his principal, Governor Nyesom Wike, who is still in office, and so he has enjoyed a lot of favor from people due to the works that the governor has done, and he's riding on the wings of most of those achievements by this current government, and that will just give him a lot of advantage over the others. But then there's also Tony Cole of the APC, very strong personality, has traveled wide, has gained capacity in leadership and all of that. He's there pushing hard, and we've also seen strong people from the Kalabari Kingdom, people like Asarido Kubor and a few others that are in full support of him. And then there's the SDP, Magnus Abe, that has been in government and has also been a leader for years. He's been there, he's done that. So this time he's coming with full force. And of course, the able Lulu Briggs is also there of the Accord Party. So you see, it's a very, very stiff race. There's also Dawari George of the, is it AAC or so?
Yes.
Okay, so these are
very sound man.
Yeah, very, very sound. You need to hear him speak. So these are very strong potential. So you can see why I said that the position or the whole winning can go to anywhere, because the candidates are very rich. Yeah.
Personally, I think from my observation, I think PDP will take the day in Rivers State. Okay, reason coming from the going back to 2 weeks, the presidential election that happened.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Look at how the result came out. Yeah, I know it's contestable.
But it was alleged that was strongly influenced by Governor Nyesom Wike.
Exactly.
So how is it possible that another party will win his
State.
I mean his
this time around
candidate?
state, and see, the voter turnout will be low.
It will be low.
Okay,
Yeah, that's another
Nigerians
thing.
are not happy.
Because we've been speaking to people and you hear them say, I'm not coming out. And you say, why? And they tell you, I don't trust the process again. We've gone back to the old days of politicians doing the elections the way they want. So why should I go and waste my vote, risk my life coming out when gunshots is being shot all over the place, and then I'm risking my life to vote for who, where my vote will not count. So a lot of them are not coming out, even though we've been advocating that that's not enough reason not to come out to vote your conscience. Come out and vote. But of course, just like you rightly said, there could be very low voter turnout this time around. Yeah.
Then technically, between the three parties, sorry, I will just, should I need to even add fourth and fifth.
Yes.
Because, let me start PDP. We have the PDP, we have the APC candidate, we have the Labour Party candidate, we have the Accord Party candidate, that's Dumolulu Briggs. Yeah. Then I will never forget Magnus Ngeabe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
SDP,
a very, very powerful figure.
These are powerful persons here in Rivers State. But now, if you now go down, I don't know whether we'll have that time, but let me just within 2 minutes and see if I can round up. The PDP having Wike, the governor, pushing through. Remember, he succeeded from last weekend for the fact that the result of presidential, he influenced it that APC won on paper and PDP won for the reps and the senatorial seat. You just be asking, how did that
happen? Why was it so perfect? Despite the fact that the Labour candidates or Labour voters in Rivers State were all over the place. How did that happen? That's to tell you that he's fully in control of the state.
That is national election. Yeah. That is a federal and presidential election. This one now is state. His abode,
his local
his house,
election,
his palace, his footstool,
his constituency.
Oh my goodness, God! So by the time you check, you find out that I don't see any of them having any chance of getting up there. Okay, let me even start. Okay, let me continue. Sorry, with APC. APC has a very smart and intelligent candidate of Tonyeko. Yeah. But the question there is, even Amechi, the former governor of the state, he's not even propelling him
he hasn't been showing the kind of support or coming out to campaign for his candidate, telling Rivers State, because let's not forget that Amechi has a lot of followers here in Rivers State, but somehow he's been very mum about the activities, the political activities of the state recently. At this time, this last week leading up to the election, one would expect that yes, Amechi will come out and of course go around, add some force to the APC campaign, but we haven't really seen that. I don't even remember any time where he had, gone round with the current APC candidate. And let's not also forget that just some days ago, we heard how Tony Okocha came out to say Amechi is no longer the APC leader of the state, that Tony Okocha, is taking over. So you see, all of that is happening in the APC and a lot more,
sorry for taking your time again. But for the fact, when you also look at that Wike was able to deliver for Tinubu, and you know that Tinubu, Amechi lost the presidential, the party presidential primaries to Tinubu. You find out that, the APC might just even work for PDP, since that the APC presidential heads like Tony Okocha them might just work for the PDP, knowing that you've given us presidency, take the governorship. Remember, politics is about negotiation and agreement,
interest,
which is the thing that happened yesterday with the Labour Party Rivers State chairman. For Beatrice Itubo, she still stands a chance. Let's not see. Let's say, for instance, anything happens within, and mind the politics in 24 hours, something can happen. Let's say anything happens within the next 48 hours, and the OB movement gathers themselves back up and say, we are voting for this lady. My brother, a whole lot will happen. Then let's also not forget, there's a lot to talk about this, but let me end it here. Let's not also forget that the Labour Party are also suffering another double wahala here, because a particular candidate, a particular human called Fatah Prince Way came out on
declaring
radio,
himself as the governorship candidate.
Governorship candidate.
And that's already causing confusion, because some people will go out and say, But then one thing we know is that another part of that matter is every vote for the Labour Party will count for British Itubo as the endorsed candidate of the Labour Party from the national. So whether there's another person.
But it's causing confusion.
No, I don't see the
that confusion. Is
yes,
there is for the party.
Because people will be like, okay, if there are two candidates and we don't know who to vote for, let me take my vote elsewhere. That's the only way it could really affect them. But if they don't do that, every vote will count for the Labour Party candidate, which is Beatrice Etubo. Well, aside that, we are really rooting for all the governorship candidates here in Rivers State. It's where we operate from, is our board, and we wish this state the best. We want the best leaders that will actually create policies that will give us an enabling environment to do business, live freely, live well, and of course, be able to express ourselves freely. So on Saturday, we're still going to go out and cast our vote. And aside that, we're going to be here on Saturday to give you a live broadcast of the entire process. So do well to join us or stay connected to this channel by subscribing, so you get to have first-hand information on how to be a part of that program on Saturday. You can call in. It's going to be a call-in program, so you can also be a part of the program on Saturday, the 11th of March, 2023. Just in case INEC doesn't postpone the election or anything, we'll be here to give you, minute-by-minute proceedings of the entire day's procedures for the 2011 governorship, 2023 governorship elections. All right, Victor, I want to thank you so much for coming.
Thank you,
and
sir.
Our viewers, thank you for staying with us up to this time. Until next time, we'll come your way again. My name is Williams Abule, and this has been the Newspaper Review here on TAP TV.